All right, beautiful soul. Welcome back to this week's edition of the You Unlimited podcast. I am so grateful that you are here and open to receiving whatever golden nugget is desiring to move through this space and unlock something within you. So I'm so grateful that you're here. And I can't wait to dig into today's topic. This is something that I was just channeling on, and it's the idea of we have the answers within the cells of our body already to everything. And I think a lot of us have a hard time trusting our intuition, trusting what we're receiving, trusting what our body is telling us, better understanding how the body is speaking to us. So I'm going to start to really break down how we can utilize the body as a compass to better understand our intuition and to really start to dig into and tune into what is your soul trying to express to you. Because, I spent a majority of my life with my intuition turned down, where it was just like, what does everyone else want me to do? How can I be a chameleon? How can I be liked? What would have people feel more comfortable? And so I'm going to say that answer versus the answer that actually probably felt, and I knew that it felt most aligned. But for me, it was really hard to tune in to my intuition at first when I was starting to unlock what that felt like. So a lot of times people think, oh, I need to tune into my intuition in my head. That's where when I first started to really tune into my intuition, I got very confused because the head is also where we overthink things, where we overanalyze things. And that's where the ego and the intuition will do kind of this delicate dance. And I realized one of the most powerful tools that I could start to tune into that would help me understand my intuition even more was my body. And so the body is this beautiful somatic thing that we experience that's allowing us to understand our unique soul's blueprint, our unique soul's truth based on outside stimuli and stimuli we are experiencing within ourselves. So, for instance, when someone is asking you to do something, someone is or inviting you into doing something, we might feel a certain way in our body. And so often, sometimes we override that again because we want to please the person in front of us. And that is something that we get to heal. It's a trauma response. It's how I lived a majority of my life was how can I please the person in front of me? What would make them like me more? And I lost myself in the process. And so getting back home to me was all about how can I tune into the sensations within my body that help me better understand what my soul is trying to teach me and how it's trying to guide me to self-actualization. Because you dropped into this body to self-actualize. And the way that your soul came here to self-actualize is going to be so different from the person that's in front of you, from your partner, from your best friends, from your mentors. You came here to self actualize in a completely different way, maybe similar, but different innately, no matter what. And so it's about really starting to tune in to say, what is my body telling me in relation to the stimuli that I am being given in this moment? So, for instance, when we're given something, do you want to go on this trip? Do you desire to do XYZ? And there's a part of us that says, I should go on the trip. People think I should go on the trip, but you're not feeling lit up by that. Your body is giving you the cheat code to what your soul is actually desiring. And so there used to be this whole like FOMO, fear of missing out, and now and then it translated into JOMO, joy of missing out. And it's this idea of just recognizing that no matter what you choose into, there is no right or wrong. There is something that is most in alignment with you and something that is least in alignment with you though. And so it's about how can I tune into that more? So there's many different ways that we can tune into our intuition, but one of the ways that I started to really dial this up even more was when I couldn't really tell exactly how I felt about a certain thing, I would actually grab a coin and I would take that coin and I would say, okay, it's for, heads. If it lands on heads, then I go on the trip. If it lands on tails, then I stay home. And then I flip the coin, I see how it lands, and then I see my immediate body response to the answer that I'm being given. So let's say I flip the coin, it lands on heads, and it's telling me I should go on the trip. And my reaction, my body reaction, is this almost like a sinking feeling where I'm like, ugh, but wouldn't it be nice to just be in my bed and be in my pajamas and not have to pack And actually, what we'd be doing on the trip anyways doesn't even feel like it's in alignment. And so there's this part of you that's going to come online, whatever that is. Maybe for you, it would be like, yes, oh my gosh, like, it might be expensive, but I know I'm meant to go to Italy and it's the perfect timing and it's the exact people I want to go with. And I'm so glad that I'm getting the validation that yes, I'm supposed to go on this trip, right? Because what we desire is destined for us. We will be resourced to do the thing that we're meant to do. Uh, because it's in alignment, right? So holding that belief that like if I desire it, I'm destined for it. And I know that God is going to source me and resource me in ways that I can say yes to the thing that I desire most, right? So no matter what your answer is, notice how you feel in relation to the answer that you are being given, right? So this is really powerful. Our body is this incredible tool that's basically tuning into outside stimuli and allowing you to get, again, that cheat code that's going to tell you what's in alignment and what's out of alignment, right? And so, what's so cool is I have been noticing this in myself and all of my clients when we are tuned in and tapped in, the answer becomes so crystal clear. I have a client, I was just chatting with her today, who just landed a TEDx, and she was like, I don't feel the way that I thought I would feel. I thought I would feel anxious. I thought I would feel nervous. But ultimately, I feel like I'm supposed to do this. I feel like it's in alignment. I know that I'm meant to lean in this way, and she is so energized. She's already pulled together her talk. We went over it this morning. It was just so much fun. I mean, she took me on such a beautiful emotional journey. I'm crying at one point, I'm laughing at another point. I'm like, how did you do that in 10 minutes? This is your gift. And like it felt so fun to just witness her in this beautiful self-actualization. But again, her body was telling her that this was God source universe moving through her. This was in alignment. This was her accepting the beautiful gifts that she's been given and giving them back into the collective, right? This was her accepting her God given assignment. And she felt the peace and calm, even though other people in that experience might feel something else, might feel anxious, might feel nervous, might feel this, might feel that. Now, the other thing I want to say is if, let's say, she felt the peace and calm and she felt anxious or things of that nature, which she wasn't, but if she was, that would tell both of us, perfect, now we know what you need to heal so that you can best serve and show up in to the capacity that you know that you're meant to. Right. So that's the beauty of, again, tuning into the body, feeling the sensations and recognizing the both and can exist. This beautiful sense of trust and simultaneously knowing, okay, there's a story here that's holding me back from my highest expression or my deepest ability to serve. Because ultimately, when we are stepping into any sort of container, it's not even about us, right? When I'm stepping onto stages, when I am holding one on one calls, when I am leaning into my mastermind, when I'm speaking across the board, I know in my heart, in the cells of my body, every time before I go out on stage or wherever it is that I'm speaking, I am always tuning into the frequency of this is not about me. So, how can I get out of my own way so that I can best serve the people in front of me? God, use me as a conduit. Use me as a conduit for the messages and the healing that people's souls most desire to receive today. And where I notice I make things about me is when I feel anxious, when I feel nervous, when I feel angry, when I feel sad. And none of those are right or wrong. They're just pointing us to what we need to heal so that we can be of service. So again, our body is this beautiful temple and it is this beautiful ecosystem of teaching us and pointing us in the direction we're meant to go and the direction we're potentially meant to revisit so that we can redirect in the way we're supposed to go. So for instance, if let's say I'm moving towards something that I'm excited about, I received the yes, the green light, yes, we're moving in that direction. But I'm also being told there's something here that's kind of blocking you from being able to fully serve. You might take the path that says, I get to go here, I get to go to the right, I'm going to revisit what my inner child and what my inner teen is experiencing from this experience. I'm going to heal that and then reroute back on track to what I'm most meant to do and how I'm meant to serve. right? So the body is directing us energetically into different spaces so that we can best serve and so that we can be resourced the way that we're meant to, right? So that's the beauty of the body. The body is this incredible compass that's going to point you in different directions. And so often, what we need to do is take a minute to just get quiet, to tune into the body. And for a lot of us, we might not be really tuned into the body. I know when I was in corporate, when I was overworked, underpaid, when I was just kind of living out of alignment, I didn't know how my body felt at all. I was completely out of touch with how my body felt. And so it wouldn't be until, let's say, I took a minute to run to the restroom and I'm sitting there and all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, my shoulders are at my ears. Like I didn't even know that I was holding on to so much stress, but I had 1 second to tune in and be like, wow, I'm holding a lot in my body. This is why it's really powerful for us to lean into different practices that allow us to get more in tune with our body so that we understand our sensations more. Because if we experience a lot of trauma when we were younger, or we disassociate in different ways because of certain things that may have happened, we might not be as tuned in to the sensations that are happening in our body. So another thing that I would invite you into would be let yourself start to do some body scans, whether that's right before bed. That's a really calming technique. So I like to couple things when I'm starting to kind of step into a new habit. I like to couple it with things I'm already doing, right? Because this gives me an opportunity to optimize time. I love optimizing my time wherever I can do it. It's probably the generator in me, it's the Aries in me, all of these things. I just love optimizing my time. So either when you're laying in bed or let's say when you're brushing your teeth, giving yourself that opportunity to say, okay, as I'm brushing my teeth or as I'm laying in bed, I'm going to imagine this beautiful white divine light starting to move down through my mind, body, and soul. And I'm just going to recognize what pockets and places feel tight, what pockets and places feel like they need this extra energetic shift, what places feel numb. I'm going to do a body scan from head to toe, and I'm just going to take notice of what exactly my body is feeling. Am I feeling tension that I didn't recognize before? Am I feeling numbness? Am I feeling pain? Uh, Am I feeling good? Am I feeling like things are flowing? Am I feeling energized? Am I feeling flexible? Like we might be feeling things on all sides of the spectrum. And it's about just starting to tune in and seeing where do I feel really good in my body? And where do I not feel as good in my body? And one of the ways that I kind of guide people into really tuning in their body is I have an exercise called the 5 minute energy reset. So that's a really good way to kind of tune into your body, to move the energy within your body, to let your energy be cleansed and cleared. So if you want to be guided on how to actually tune into your body somatically, drop into the show notes and download the 5 minute energy reset. That's a really, really powerful tool. And again, me wanting to optimize time, it's only 5 minutes. So the excuse of like, I don't have time for that. You have 5 minutes. You can absolutely create time for it if you desire to. And the beauty of downloading the 5 minute energy reset is not only does it get you in tune with your body, but it's also protecting your energy. So if you're around people all day, you're about to go out on stage, if you want to protect your home, the energy in your home, you can utilize this tool to protect the energy in your home. But for all of my empaths that feel other people's feelings or that feel like sometimes they're just being dragged down by the people around them, things of that nature, this tool will completely reset and protect your energy in 5 minutes. It is my one non negotiable every single day. So if you don't already have that, it is my gift to you, is my gift to humanity, so that you can really tune in, protect your energy, but also cleanse and clear your energy and get in tune with what does my body feel like right now? What needs a little bit of cleansing and clearing? What can allow me to really tune in and release the tension from my body? Because the more we tune into the body, the easier it becomes to get really crystal clear on what am I feeling in this moment, so that when we receive the outside stimuli, such as, hey, did you want to do this on January 9th or January 12th? We immediately have a sensation in the body that allows us to say, you know what, intuitively, even though this date looks better on paper, I think I want to go with this date. There's something about it that feels lighter. that feels juicier, that feels like I want to lean in more, you're gonna get in tune with what your intuitive yes feels like. And I would invite you to start to really either journal on it or take notice of when you get the intuitive ping and how it feels in the body. So it could feel lighter. It could feel expansive. It could feel like you just want to lean in and you don't understand why. It could just feel like a yes. And again, it doesn't make sense on paper. And and take notice of where you're starting to receive those intuitive pings, what they feel like, and also how it panned out. So did it work out when you decided to lean into that date versus this date? Or you decided to say yes to this or no to that? How did you feel knowing that you were following the intuitive nudge? Right? Because the other way, it could feel like if it's a no, it could feel like a, well, I should say yes to this date. I'm having some tightness in my chest, though. There's something about it that just doesn't feel enticing. I kind of want to lean out. I feel constriction or a sinking feeling in my belly. Whatever that is, take notice because your body is going to speak to you differently than the way that my body is going to speak to me. So it's about getting really in tune with what is your body's unique way of sharing information with you. How is it coming through? And that's how I started to get really in tune with my body as a compass as well, is to start to say, like, let me just take notice of patterns within me that are telling me certain things. And that's how I started to trust it more, was also simultaneously saying, okay, I felt this way, I did this thing, and here's how it panned out. So I was even writing in my journal, like like an intuition journal around like, all right, on this date, I felt this way. Here's what I decided to do, and here's how it panned out. And then on this date, I received the intuitive ping. I did nothing about it, and this is how it panned out. Right. So again, it's just that being able to really tune in and say, how does it feel in my body when I'm being given certain stimuli? And it's going to allow you to really lean into the guidance that you're receiving. Another thing that I do is I always invite my angels and guides to validate my intuition if I'm just not totally clear or I feel like there's a lot on the line, so my ego is getting involved. I ask for my angels and guides at the highest vibration. I say, send me a sign that this is indeed the right or the most soul aligned date or the most soul aligned answer, right? I ask for those signs. And what that could mean is you just simply ask for a sign in general, or you ask for a specific sign. If I'm meant to do this, send me fruit. If I'm not meant to do this, send me something else, vegetables, whatever it could be. Or if it's like if I'm meant to lean in, send me the color yellow or send me monkeys or whatever it is, something that's very like it could be totally related, completely off the wall. But what's very fun and what's cool about this is you just kind of say it, you set it, and you forget it. And then you just start to notice if you, at some point, let's say within the last couple days, if you noticed that there was yellow or if you noticed that there were monkeys. And if you didn't, you're like, okay, maybe I'm not meant to lean in this way. Maybe I'm meant to actually like tune in, pause, meditate, start to tune in a little bit more and see what comes through, right? Or maybe out of nowhere, I see all the monkeys, right? Or I see yellow everywhere. I haven't been able to stop seeing it. That to you again is affirmation that you're meant to go after that thing, the way that your soul is kind of guiding you. So the way that I love tuning into my intuition as well is I'll get the ping. And then sometimes if I'm questioning it, I'm wobbling on it a little bit. I love to ask my guides, my angels and guides, to just kind of support with me feeling less wobbly. If this is meant to be, send me this, send me that. So I've given you lots of examples on how to start to really tune into your intuition and start to say, like, how does this feel in my body? Again, little things like when you're given an opportunity, does it feel expansive, like you want to lean in immediately? Or does it feel constricting? Does it feel like a I should or shouldn't? If the language of should or shouldn't is coming through, undoubtedly it's coming from the ego and it's probably the opposite of the thing. But if you're like, man, I feel so expanded and it makes no sense, it's usually 99.99999%. If you feel expanded by it, even if, and especially when it makes no sense, that is your intuition. That is your angels and guides telling you to follow that. And then I've learned to just simply follow it because it always pans out. It always takes me to where I'm meant to go. It's always the thing that was meant to either be the thing or the thing that brought me to the thing. And so that's the beauty of it is where things just don't make sense. Those are our miracle moments. Lean into those. You're being guided. And so allow yourself to be guided in all of the different ways, but especially use your body as this tool that is meant to be utilized as. It is quite literally our soul has dropped down into this body and we are receiving sensations all the time. Allow yourself to get in tune with what it feels like presently and then start to follow it and see what starts to pan out, right? Whether you're journaling about it, whether you're just simply following the intuitive ping, whether you're flipping the coin, all of these things are, again, just examples of how you can start to tune into your body to receive the information that our minds are so desperately wanting to receive. It's like, how often do we say things like, man, I wish someone would just tell me what to do? It's like, how did that shift from when we were little, where we were like, no one gets to tell me what to do? And then the second we turned like 25 or 30, we were like, can someone please tell me everything I'm supposed to do for the love of all things? Like, please just tell me what to do. This is your cheat code, is tuning into your body and saying, what feels true for me? And how can I best expand into this space and honor how I came here uniquely to self-actualize? And again, one of my biggest stands is you can hire mentors all day long, but no matter what, you're meant to build things your way. You're meant to lean in your way. And there is an infinite amount of ways to build absolutely anything. So the more that you can follow your intuition and your body, the easier and the faster it is to get to where it is that you desire to go. So with that, I'm sending you so much light and love. I am so eternally grateful for you spending your most precious resource with us, your time. And until next time. Mwah.